Here we're going to look at ways to lower a climber with an auto-blocking belay device. With any of these things that we look at, we want to first try to find a non-technical solution if we can, and when we can't, then we're going to move to some technical solutions. Here I'm going to have my climber come over, and we're first going to look at just some short lowers, and then we'll look at some longer lowers and some ways of doing that. Here I've got my climber, Sunny. I could also just use a weighted backpack. And so Sunny, you're just going to hang there. And so this first short lower we're going to demonstrate here is one that you would do where maybe the climber forgot to unclip from a piece of gear, or they forgot to clean a piece of gear, and now they need a little bit of slack to unclip, right? And here it's a lower where we're just going to go a few inches. And so first, we want to wrap the rope around our hand so that we've got a really good firm grip on that belay strand, or we can tie a catastrophe knot, a cat knot. Often in this course what we'll say is when in doubt, tie a cat knot. Now with Sunny just hanging on the rope, okay, I'm just going to take the carabiner here and I'm just going to start to rock it back and forth, or ratchet it. So you'll hear people call this the rocking the carabiner or ratcheting it. I like to call it the carabiner wiggle. You're just wiggling it back and forth, and you're going to get maybe an inch or so slack each time. Sunny here is just slowly lowering, and you can see my cat knot just is gradually going up to the belay device. So here, again, it's just for a real short lower. Next, if we need to lower a little further, and maybe this is where we want to go several feet. Maybe our climber dropped something, they need to go back to a ledge just a few feet below them, or they fell at an overhang and they can't get their hands and their feet back on the rock. Maybe they want to try climbing a section again, and you just need to go maybe just a few feet. Again, just go ahead and hang there, Sunny. First, we're going to start by put a cat knot in. Then I'm going to put on my third hand friction hitch. In this case, an auto block. Going to lock it, check that it's secure. I could take my cat knot off at this point, but I'm going to leave it on because I like to leave it on until the very end. Go ahead and just hang there, Sunny. Okay? And then what I'm going to do here is get a carabiner to redirect the brake strand. So I need to give myself a little slack here. Okay, got my third hand on, about ready to do this. I'm going to take that cat knot out. And I've got a couple options for doing this here. So you can use a nut tool. Okay. I have a real firm grip on the brake strand here, and I can put the nut tool in the other slot of that auto blocking device, and I can lever it back. Okay, and there you can see I'm using it like a handle, pulling it back, and Sunny, if she wait a little more, let's start to go down. There she goes. My own carabiner is binding up there some, and you can see I can start to lower Sunny there. Okay, so nut tool serves as this handle to defeat the auto blocking device, and you can do a short lower there like that. It can be a little awkward, maybe not super comfortable to do that. So another way to do it as well. Again, Sunny, go ahead and I'm going to pull you up here. Just go ahead and sit back. Okay. Again, same thing. I'm going to have my brake strand redirected here. Okay. My third hand on. And a lot of these, all of the auto blocking devices have some kind of hole. Some of the holes are bigger than others, depending on the company. This is a camp device. It's got a pretty good sized hole, so I can actually get a whole carabiner in there. That carabiner actually went in there pretty easily. This is a pretty narrow nose on this carabiner, So that probably makes a difference here. If I were using a larger carabiner, like this big locking carabiner, probably gonna fit in there a little bit differently. And there you can see it's only like going in there a little ways. But I can use that then as that handle like I did with the nut tool. So this is another way where you're basically making a handle on the auto blocking device to defeat it and get a lower. Definitely want to be real careful and easy when you do this in the real world. Here I've got a climber that's real lightweight. She's probably what, like 50 pounds or so. If you had like a 200-pound climber on there, it's going to release a lot faster. And kind of a story just to give you some warning of that. I still remember like almost 20 years ago, the first time I was using an auto blocking belay device, and I don't know if it was my first day using it, but it was pretty close. And a friend of mine, just like this, fell below a roof, was trying to get back on the rock, needed me to lower them a little bit. I didn't do a good job of like, well, one, I probably hadn't read the instruction manual all the way, and so I really didn't know what I was doing in hindsight, so I'm glad it didn't turn out worse. But I don't think I redirected the brake stand, probably didn't have a third hand on, and I didn't have a good handle on this, and I cranked that open, and I dropped him, only like a foot, but enough that he was scared and a little freaked out. So that's a big reason why we have this redirected. We had the third hand on there, and we ease into it when we release it. So those are a couple of short lowers with the auto blocking belay device, and then we'll like make some more videos showing some longer lowers.